I was only aware of today when I had a call from one of the owners asking me to call Harvey to turn on their water, even though they owed over $4,000 in water to Harvey. Of that project. I said I have no control over Harvey.
It should be your turn,
All right,
sir.
Mr. Lee.
I'm sorry.
Are we ready? Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr.
I'm on the clock, yeah. Well, when this meeting started off, I was somewhat hopeful because everything was moving. You all were cooperating. You had eyes all the way across the board. Then we get to the fiduciary issues, the finance issues, and I don't understand the priorities of certain members of our board. You were okay with hiring attorneys at our expense, but like the previous gentleman said, when it comes to things like firemen or something and I think the housing department, we have been under scrutiny and so forth as far as salaries and so forth, the hiring part-timers and so forth. It seems like the priorities are upside down. I don't get how. Oh yeah, I understand there was some training budgets, some money that was put to a training budget. How is that more important than fire protection for all of us, rather than training for a few of you? How is that more important than, like I said, the fire department, the housing department, all those things we need every day. We need these things every day. But yet you all seem to put the priorities of personal items in front of what we need. And we did not vote you in for that. That's not why we voted for you. I voted before, and I'll say it again, I voted for all of you thinking, that our ability to be in good hands because you're like a younger crowd and so forth. And I could kick back and retire. I should be at home right now with my feet. But now I got to come down here and listen and you see the sniggling and the giggling and the disrespect and so forth towards our mayor. I try not to get personal with this, but it's pretty blatant. You want to snatch his authority. The three of you, neither of you all could answer this question: who determines who declares a state of emergency? You all sat there and just looked at it. But then in the same vote, you want to turn around and give money to not only the person that you, I guess, are going to replace them with as far as calling an emergency, but you're going to give them $5 grand. You're going to give all of your department heads $5 grand. But yet you want to quibble about things that we desperately need in this village, that our lives depend on. Can any of you explain to me your priority system? I don't understand it. I really don't understand what your priorities are. And that would go a long way towards advancing everything in this village. We can understand what your priorities are because we know what to do when the time comes. We have to do what we have to do.
All right,
That's all I have to say.
2 minutes and 37 seconds.
Don't take all day.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
I haven't heard anything yet.
My name is Dolores Timms. I'm a 28-year resident of Dolton. And my concerns are again with public works. I live at 157 in East End, on the corner of 158th and East End. That's a tragedy waiting to happen. You cannot see coming out of 158th Street going to Greenwood. You cannot see cars coming from 159th Street. You have to pretty much pull out into the street in order to see a car coming. And at night, it's even worse.
Ms. Timms, just to address that, we were over there this week. Public Works, we moved all those streets, you see all those streets, branches and stuff.
I understand that from there, but that corner is down. I've seen several accidents where we
We're going to work on that corner. We discussed it this week, so we're going to do a baby cleanup over there.
It was cut, but they didn't go far enough back.
You got a drainage ditch in there. So we have to take consideration of losing equipment or destroying equipment going in there. So if we have to hand cut it, whatever we need to do, we'll get it done. But we were over there this week. They've got all the public works, I should say, got all the
branches.
Yeah. So.
And the property on the corner there,
Right.
the huge house,
Yeah.
were they ticketed or whatever? Because that the
Ms. Fields, you know which house she's talking about?
yes, sir.
Now,
That is so house.
here's the thing. That is actually in the corporate limits of Dolton.
That's what I was told.
Now, what portion of that area over there has a South Island mailing address? Okay, you have a South Island mailing address?
No.
Okay. There's a small section that has a South Holland mailing address. What they did was, in that corner, what they did was they used their South Holland mailing address, and somehow, some way, when they applied to the assessor's office, they put that partial. Well, it's not physically in South Holland, but they have been paying their taxes to South Holland. And those taxes should come to us. And some of the reason that they do that, some of the people that have residents over there, is because they think they can sell their house better if they say, I'm in South Holland resident in Dolton. So I'm not sure what we need to do to get, there's a couple houses over there like that, but another young man came to me and told me that his taxes are going to South Holland, but he's clearly on the map in Dolton. That house is clearly on the map in Dolton, but it's on the MLS down for sale, it's unoccupied. I think it's in foreclosure, I'm not for sure, but there's nobody in it. Matt, I think you went over and turned the water off. Matt?
Yes, sir.
The water's off in that?
Yes, it is.
We turned the water off over there. I left notice there for them to contact my office. We haven't got a response. So our next deal is to try to find out who's the mortgage holder on it and try to proceed from that point. But we're gonna have to get around there and eventually cut it because we don't want to maintain it.
And there's some ganger on the overpass.
I know. We've had, Brian Thickett is gonna take care of that. We've had 4 or 5 incidents in the village within the last month of gang graffiti on residences, on businesses. The county has been coming out and absorbing their costs and removing their gang graffiti. I'm not sure if it's an influx of, I talked to the chief in regards to gang activity. They've addressed it in certain areas. I'm not sure if it's an influx coming in town, starting this, but we've noticed in the last month there's been isolated incidents of gang graffiti on different, and we're removing it as fast as we can.
Good job.
Hold on a minute, you had something else to say?
Well, I had a medical emergency at my home Thursday morning,
Okay,
and Dolton came out,
okay,
and right after they got there, Buzz Daly
right.
came out. I still don't understand why Dolton comes out, which is taking a firefighter away from their assigned duty. And then Bud comes, who actually will take you where they have to do it. So why can't they just send Bud? You're going to have to
Well,
pay.
what happens is, it's a 911 call, it's an emergency, our fire department responds. Now, and that's kind of like a catch-all deal. We want to make sure the fastest emergency service gets to the location. So in some cases, our fire department can respond, when we have trained EMTs in the fire department. In other cases, Bud may get there quick. So when you, in an emergency situation, you want to be served, we try to get the fastest equipment out there. It's done in the city of Chicago. But fortunately, they have their own ambulance, but they also send a fire truck there just in case, it's a life and death situation. You will have medical assistance on the scene.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did I answer that okay, Chief?
Yeah.
Did you?
Could have went a little more.
Okay. All right, Bill, how you doing?
I was hired to work in Public Works April 7th of this year
As a part-time
as
employee.
a part-time employee for 90 days.
Yeah.
I did my 90 days. They put me on for full-time for 3 days, however, never passed the board.
Okay.
I went it'll be 120 days on the 6th this month.
Okay.
They still haven't made a decision whether they're going to make me full-time or not. I come to work all the time.
Right. I know your performance. I see you out there working. I'm talking to Superintendent Brooks. And I would just make a recommendation. I think he does a fine job. And we need full-time employees. Where's this at, Mr. Irvin?
This would be reflected in an email I sent out over the weekend that I asked the board to consider under old business, moving the part-time employee in Public Works to full-time, allowing Chief Franklin to move forward with his 2 part-time hires, and allowing me to move forward with my administrative assistant. I got 2 responses from all 7 elected officials. So I guess it'll wait until September till I bring it to an open meeting.
Well, I tried to do it tonight, but the county said I couldn't do it.
Can't formally vote on it tonight. You could give direction to move forward with it, and the formal vote could be taken at the next regular board meeting.
So what's the status now, part-time or full-time?
He's at full-time, part-time, sorry.
Okay. All right. We'll try to expedite this. Okay, sorry.
Can we still
Can we
vote
do
tonight?
a
Sorry,
consensus?
sorry to take this. It's taking so long. What, we can't vote on this tonight.
Can we do a consensus?
We have done, since I've been here, Mayor, consensus votes to move something forward that the board felt there was some urgency. By polling the board and getting verbal commitments or an email commitment from board members that they're in agreement to do this. That could be done, and as I said, then the formal vote will take place on September 2nd.
So you get a consensus, you get the consensus vote, does it go on full time?
We've done this for any other part-time, full-time employees?
We've done it for other issues, not necessarily hiring of people.
So I think we have a special ordinance for the hiring on that.
Yeah, they have to come before the board to be approved. You have all the resumes, you've gotten all the resumes that I just described, 3 different occasions.
I know we had a resume in our package last meeting.
What's his
Your
name?
resume was in there. I'm not sure, what happened, they passed on or what?
That was the county.
Okay.
Yes, sir, we didn't pass the budget, everything was.
The budget wasn't passed, so everything was put on hold.
Okay. All right, what's the consensus? Let's take a consensus vote, let's try to move this forward.
I said move it.
Okay, Justice Smith?
I'm trying to look up your stuff. They were so late for me, we need to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm going
So again, you have everybody coming, this Right. part-time up here asking, it should be a vote.
No, this
I'm
was just,
supply the
the reason this is because it was on the agenda.
But either supply the resumes
It
or
was on
forward.
the agenda last
I think
when it was paid.
So wait, just because I don't want to set a new precedent that
Should I
It should always be on
forward
the
the
agenda.
resumes a 4th time? I'm asking the correct question.
I would say on the next, next agenda.
I'm asking if that's what the board requests.
No, you can put it in a board packet, and it should be like one of the.
So we want it for the 4th time.
I think we just go back and pick it out as the last one, for heaven's sakes.
I mean, I
Cut down a tree.
This board takes so
We
long.
just had it
to make
last week,
decisions.
in the last board meeting.
I mean, we're 14 weeks away from November. And there's a lot of things we need to get done before winter gets here. And when you have these part-time employees come in at 7 o'clock and they leave at 11, and they're in the middle of stuff, it just don't work.
What is your
Well,
name
see,
again?
you know, and that's
Sorry.
something I said we all, we're not thinking smart. Because just because you are part-time don't mean you have to come in from 7 to 11. You can work
doesn't
Monday,
matter.
Tuesday, Wednesday, you can work Thursday, Friday.
Here's a
Yes,
copy.
it does.
It doesn't matter, they leave,
We were given that.
and you have to put other people on
Well,
the project.
you know that if he is, he has to adhere to the contract.
You act like you haven't seen it before.
I never said that.
So like your mind.
I never said that. I never said I never said.
Yeah.
Okay, we had a consensus from 2 trustees. Trustee, we're waiting on trustee Smith. Trustee Hunt?
Who is that?
No. Trustee Brown? Trustee Henry? No. Trustee Brown? No.
I'm sorry.
All right. Okay, trustee Smith,
Who
we're
is
waiting
this?
on
Is
this.
this William
Yeah,
Erickson?
yeah. Hold on a minute.
No. So you do know if you were approved as a full-time employee, you would have to abide to the new contracts and move to Dolton?
Within the next 12 months.
Oh, my glasses, so I can see. That's the contract. I'm just saying. That's the new contract.
Yeah, the next 12 months.
I'm not saying yes, but I'm just saying, this is what you have to adhere to.
He said yes.
Okay?
Trustee
No, I'm
Smith,
not saying yes.
what do you
Just
say?
said it's a question.
We're asking for
Are you still
consensus for the
researching?
next meeting.
Gentlemen, 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, hold on. Are you still researching?
No, I'll read it later, but right now, I'm not voting no.
Okay, we got two yeses and 4 no. Okay, looks like that would be Mr. Williams.
Good evening.
Okay.
Good evening, trustees, mayor, citizens. Kenny Williams, Silk and Classy, owner. I'm just coming up to ask you all, invite you all, the trustees, all of you all out. 2 weeks on August the 17th, which is a Sunday. It's not a regular work day. We're going to be providing free haircut services and manicures for the young ladies and boys going back to school. We do it every year. We've been doing it for 15 years. We initially started the back-to-school event. And so they'll be cutting from 12 to 5. Like all of you all, at least if you can, if the schedule allow you to stop by, say hi, and anything like that. The Dolton Bears, we started back up today. As you saw earlier, I was in here. We started back up. The Dolton Bears are ready. We're looking for young boys and girls for cheerleaders and for football if they're interested. And on the business note, I just would ask that you all consider looking at, on Sibley, we just had a lieutenant move in with us. And that's the dental office right there. And if you all can see how nice the property looks, and it's cool. And I would just ask that you all think about the revenue that the business brings. Not just that one, but the one that's the owners that have bought the property on Sibley 6 months ago, 8 months ago. They spent $600,000 or something like that. They took it off, they put it back on the tax roll for you all. So that means you're generating taxes on it. But the people aren't able to open, you know, and I know we have our pros and cons on certain things, but I'm asking as a businessman, we won't be able to get anything big box if we don't have anything little box. So we have to be able to have relationship with small business owners first. South Holland is going through the same thing, because 5 years ago, South Holland would have never put a Salvation Army store on 159th Street. Now they can't get any big box stores to come in because of the demographics. That was what was told to me from the administrator on Friday last week. And I hate to see it, but I spoke about this before. And when you talk, Mr. Brown, they can't get the big box stores because the demographics have changed. Where you have 75, 80% African Americans that live in the community now. So they can't get what they would have gotten 5 years ago. So I just wanted to say that, you know, we have to look at it. And if you have someone who's purchased property in the village who's going to clean up something, spend money and invest it, we should be trying to work with them, give them the opportunity to come and open up, because the job, and I'm just asking that you all consider try to expedite it, because no one wants to buy a piece of property and they have to sit on it for 6 months. They have people who want to rent from them who are saying, no, I'm not coming down. So, you know, I just wanted to ask you all if you all would consider allowing the gentleman that put that property up there to come on in, because it's on Sibley.
I want to add to what you just said. You mentioned an important thing here about the tax base. This gentleman and his family own several other stores, several other communities, and he never came to this board and said, give me a concession on these real estate taxes. He's willing to pay his fair share. Not only on the real estate taxes, puts us back on the road real estate taxes, but the sales tax that we
generate their store would be great.
You're talking about $1.5 million.
Yes, he would rate it with
in average sales.
You're talking about
You're talking about what is our tax base? 8.75. You're talking about taxes directly coming here, sales tax revenue directly coming here. They haven't asked for any concession, any special consideration. So that needs to be taken into consideration. Yes, I'm not sure how much is your taxes over there. How much is your taxes going to be on that strip mall? $48,000 in real estate taxes coming right here in the Dolton Township into this village.
I just ask you know, just for you all,
our school district,
you all doing, you know, as trustees and everything.
To our school district, and then that sales tax come right to us, right to the village.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Williams.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williams, when was the date for the free?
August the 17th. That's Sunday. August 2 Sundays. 2 Sundays from now, from 12 to 5. But I would love to see all of you all. If you could, if you don't come together, at least show up so we can at least.
Well, we can't come together. That's meetings that.
As long as you're not taking care of business, as long as you're not taking care of business, you can go where you're going. Yes, sir. As long as you're not talking business, you can go wherever you want to go.
Mr. Williams provided some free haircuts this weekend in the park, for the park district.
With the Dolton Park District.
With the Dolton Park District on the back to school field, and gave me a haircut too.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
That should have made him pay double.
Along with some a lot of other kids that were there.
Thank you all.
So thank you for your input there.
Mrs.
Mrs. Craig, how are you tonight?
I'm fine. How are you, trustees, administrators? I do have a concern, as the gentleman and individuals that spoke before. The meeting was moving smoothly, until you got to a certain point. I do have a problem with the bickering and not allowing the mayor, the president of the village of Dolton to operate as that individual. Because if you want to take on the responsibility, and I'm speaking to every trustee, you want to take on the responsibility of giving the authority or taking the authority within yourself, upon yourself, then that gives me the right to come and sue you, doesn't it?
Right.
I want you to think about it.
I'll be the first one.
I have a concern on, and I have a question. It was told to me, and I'm listening tonight, that there was a approval to add on, did someone say $42,000? $32,000 for what? For the trustees. Can that question be answered as I stand?
$4,000 individually for each trustee. We're supposed to be going for Mr. Training.
That is, becoming members of the village, you become a member of the National League of Cities. Their national conference, which takes place in, I believe it's November this year, draws over 25,000 elected officials from throughout the country. There's also conferences, seminars, and the trading of thoughts with other elected officials from around the country. Besides that, being a member of the National League of Cities offers things like there will be a prescription program for village residents. There are many things. I would suggest go to their National League of Cities webpage. It's quite extensive.
Mr. Urban, hold on.
Is that money already allocated in a budget for the trustees? Are you already getting an allocation for training?
That $4,000, Mr. Urban, was not inputted in the budget just for that. That was additional amount of money each trustee wanted for additional expenses, wasn't it?
That's to participate in the league and to be able to travel to their national conference in Austin, Texas, I think it is, in November.
Did it cost us $4,000?
When you figure in airfare, hotel room, the membership, and sessions to attend, it will be about $4,000 per trustee.
So is that amount, may I ask a question of the trustees, is that amount, do you think that amount is exorbitant? Or do you already get an amount to go for workshops?
Yeah, we get $13,000.
You get $13,000 for training already?
Stipend to use for whatever you want to use it for.
Is that each trustee? May I just say that, will you please, you want to encompass us paying more this and more that on our backs. I'm going to say to you, as I say to the school board members of 205, understand that we are the taxpayer that pay you to represent us. And let me say, I thank the mayor for coming out and the trustees that I saw at the back to school rally at Dolton Park. And the Charters Youth Commission was there doing face painting free of charge.
Yeah, I saw that.
And we serviced over 100 student, young people and adults who want face painting too. But registration has begun at Thornridge High School, District 205. Our numbers are considerably down. We will have registration from Monday through Friday as well as Saturday. If you look on the website, you look on the side of the buildings, and also we'd like to invite you to come out to support Thornridge Band at the Bud Billikens Day Parade on this Saturday. This is the first time that we have been in the Bud Billikens Day Parade, and we are number 2 in the parade because of our new band instructor, Mr. Gus.
Number 2?
We'll come out number 2. That's right.
Wow.
So we're asking you to come out and support us. Bring that village, Mayor, they've invited you personally, the fire chief, police chief. Please, you guys, come and support the young people in the village of Dolton.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's accomplishment to be number 2 in the Dolton Parade, because I was in that parade one time, I was 368. So,
Are you going this year?
no, well, I'm going this year. I'm gonna try to go this year. I'm gonna try to go this year. I'm gonna try to go this year. But if you go, you gotta be there. You gotta be there early, so I can get in, get out, especially if they're number 2. And it's really good. It's a real good accomplishment to get number 2 in that parade. All right, Chief, talk to Ms. Miller. Ms. Miller. Okay, I signed those things. All right. You need that other form, that last form? Okay, what are we doing now? This, okay. Citizens address is completed now. Did you want to do something? Say something? Can we do something?
Yeah, you can do the same thing if the board's willing to
Okay.
go ahead on it.
Trustee Pearson wants to bring up the matter of the hiring of the 2 part-time police officers. Can we get this?
Talk about that?
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Irvin, we're going to take a consensus on the 2 hiring of the part-time police officers. Trustee Bendel? Come on, Trustee.
But we are not going to look at the guy at Public Works.
They did look at him and they said no.
Right.
So we gotta at
This is
least
part-time.
give this a vote. I mean, not a vote, but a consensus.
This is part-time, no benefits, no nothing. I mean, it's said that way, but
Yes.
Okay. I mean, Trustee Pearson?
Yes.
Trustee
Yes.
Smith? Trustee Knight?
Yes.
This is for continue to be on the next agenda or this
Yes.
is for just be on the next agenda?
Consider hiring.
Yes.
Get it started, get it started, we'll formalize it, you know.
I thought we already.
We did.
Sorry.
We took a vote.
We did, but we can't hit it.
This is just to bring the name to the board.
Just for the 2 names.
why don't you put a special meeting in front of the council, so you don't have to wait till September. That way you get them voted in.
That's exactly right.
They can get appointed and they can, oh, no.
Okay, Trustee Brown said yes. Trustee Brown said yes. Okay, Trustee Hunter?
We do this more often.
He already got the consent, I'll give him a shit.
Oh, man.
I'll put it before the council.
You already have
Trustee?
Formalize it before it's not done. Just formalize
Okay,
it.
well, okay, all right, we got 5 yeses and 1. We got 5. Trustee Henry said yes, and then Trustee Brown said yes before he went to the question.
I just say, yeah.
So that's 5. Yeah,
Oh, this is yes.
you said yes. You said yes. Okay, we got 5 yeses on the consensus. Trustee Hunter?
Yes, I said yes.
We got one more we can say.
Formalize it, formalize.
Okay, we got 6 consensus votes on the hiring of the part-time police officer. 2 of them, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, anything else?
I forgot to mention, I can't believe that nobody up here mentioned, this Sunday is the 30th annual Friends of Frank picnic. It's free, it's every year. I see people from Dolton come out here. I see people from Indiana. I see people from Chicago. Please come out. You come every year. It's free. Everything is free. The food, the liquor, the pop.
Okay.
Have
All
fun.
right, can we get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second, is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been motion and a second to adjourn this regular board meeting. Ending tonight at 10:52. Roll call.
Trustee Bendel?
Aye.
Trustee Pearson?
Aye.
Trustee Smith?
Aye.
Trustee Hunt?
Aye.
Brown?
Aye.
6 ayes, motion carries. This meeting is adjourned.
Now, I know. Okay.